Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Factorio. Since the last episode, I did go down here. We'll take a quick trip, and I did expand the mall quite a bit. So now you can see we have we left off with the belts. I did uh, put a small chest so that way I can get some belts, and chests are pretty easy. You can hit this X and drag it up so that way it doesn't super fill. For now, I just have it to keep me 200 belts on the side. I do have the um, firearm magazines being automatically produced because those will be needed um, to make the one of the next science tiers. So go ahead and having them kind of early on the belt is pretty useful. Um, I also set up copper coils and green chips so that way we can have green chips and again little chest. We then came down here. This was a little bit more tricky to set up whenever you have um, a 3 item build. It does require um, 3 inputs plus an output, and you can only go long arm inserters are only good for 2 tiles, so 1 2. So do I did have to keep that in mind, but it was pretty easy. We just wiggled the belt for iron on top, the gears, and the circuits, and this makes inserters, and inserters are right here. And now if we look at the build menu, um, we can see that we do have everything it takes to make the green science, the belts and the inserters. So belts are right here, inserters right here. We can uh, start making that. But since the last episode, I did do a little bit of exploring to kind of see where, just how far away. We knew about this spider base here in this corner, but that spider base kind of has some time. But I was a little worried because I saw that our pollution was starting to extend, and it turns out there's a biter base right here. Um, and then there's another one right down here by the uranium, which is not great at all. Now we do have quite a bit of space. Looks like quite a bit of space over here and quite a bit of space over here. But I did throw a radar down right here so that way, no matter where I am on the world, I can always zoom in and see over here. But uh, today we're going to deal with this spider base for sure because that pollution is getting dreadfully close. And I honestly don't feel like dealing with biters just yet. The biter waves. Um, I want to get a bit more done um, because we're so close to getting all of the red science done. As you can see, I'm researching the last red science, and then everything else is red green science, which we already have the stuff to make green science on the belt. So we will be able to go ahead and queue that up. So I went ahead, queued all of it up. Uh, so we're starting to queue up some red green science, and this will allow us to really, you know, push on. I also did, if we look at my inventory, I did make some more labs because once this is done, I'm gonna extend the labs, but pollution is starting to be a problem. And since pollution is starting to be a problem with the biters, we're gonna go kill some biters. So we have some gun turrets. So we're going to come up here and we're going to get the biters just in view, which is going to be here. So we can now see the biter base right there. Um, so we're going to set one gun turret up right there. And we're going to go ahead and, is it Alt? It's Alt. You hold Alt and you can click on it and it will fill the gun turrets. So now we can stand here. I feel a little bit safer. And we'll put another gun turret here. Again, we'll grab our ammo, hold Alt, hit click. That fills that up. That will place a ghost there. And we'll put another here. And ghosts are pretty good because that will let you kind of plan for stuff. And as you can see, now they're upset. We can hit Alt. That is now shooting that down. All the biters are gone. Good, good. They will try to come at me, bro, but they cannot. So, one more time. Boom, boom. That will now take down that base. As you can see, we're getting some exclamation points. This base is slowly being destroyed. And we have now destroyed a spawner. So, this does need to be repaired. I do not have any repair kits on me. However, I can craft one real quick. This base is now destroyed. We can safely come over here and go, ha ha ha, you are non-existent. I did put a heavy armor on me. Heavy armor is just steel and copper, so not that bad. We can now repair this if we just hold repair like that. Good, good. So now we will pick all of this up. That base is dead for now. Again, we'll pick these up. So now that biter base is dealt with, which is great. So it is now no longer on the map, which is glorious. So now we have a little bit of room to work with stuff. We did expend looks to be about 20 bullets. So that is what it took. Now the biter base over here, if we kind of come make our way over, the map will update here in a second as we get a little close. I don't love how close I'm having to get before the map updates, but you can see there's all of those biters. They do have a spitter already, which is the worms. But thankfully these are still small biters. Dealing with the biter bases early on does help you not have to deal with some of the bigger biters, but we will have to deal with them. They are there. The presence is known. Our pollution will reach them fairly soon, so we will have to keep that in mind. But for now, we can kind of ignore them for just a second because we want to come down here and we want to set up the science chain. Now I did, as you can see, this one is 4 machines long just because it copper coils, it be a thing. You will use quite a bit of green circuits, so just keep it in mind. We're going to grab our 5 research stations. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go we'll go up top. Sure. Now, because red science is going to come from here, green science is going to come from here, We could do two belts, but we are going to do two belts, but this science stack will probably stay here. So knowing that it's going to stay here, we're going to do one and two. And whenever we get the next two sciences, it will probably come from the bottom and it will travel up. So you can go up and down with the sciences. So that is something you can do. So we are going to grab this belt. We're going to grab it there. And we're going to say, we want you to be all the way over here. So we're going to grab all of this. We're going to extend it out. Nice and big like. It needs to go right here. So we do need to go up and over. And now this will still grab the research. It will still research. But this can start filling up with the red science. Red science will slowly continue to get made. Right here, we can increase this. All we got to do is just add more assemblers and it will increase. So we're going to grab this. We're going to throw this right about here. And then we're just going to go boom, boom, boom. And one more power pole. Boom. So now all of these will research. It will finish this red tier research a little bit faster. We can combine the green onto this belt, which I might just end up doing just so that way we can get a little bit more. It doesn't super matter. We can do two separate belts, but for now, this will work. As far as pollution, we're good. We're not affecting nobody, so we can continue. So we're going to come down here while that's going. We're going to take our belt, and instead of going back into the belt, we're going to come out of the belt. We're going to grab 1 and 2. And we're going to go 1 and 2. And then we're going to take these belts. And this time we're going to do belts a little bit differently because this is already on the outside. There's no big point in looping, cutting all the way through when we can just loop it once. So that is something to keep in mind. Outside belts are typically a lot easier to work with. So we'll go down. This needs to go up by 1. I missed this because it's been a second. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. So we need to go out, down, and around. And this will go here. That will feed all of the belts needed for green science. Good, good. And we'll go inserter, inserter, and long arm, and then we'll go inserter, inserter again. Having that chest of inserters does make this a lot faster. And then we will go 1, and again, more power poles, but power poles won't be a problem too much longer. 2. So now this can also make green science. So now belts will go on here. Good, good. And it does look like I am almost out of belts, but that is, again, not a problem. We can run back up here, and I can just grab 100 more belts, which is great. Good thing about a mall, everything's right here. Bad thing about the mall, well, there's a lot of resources all over the place. I gotta move this up by one, which is not a problem. And this needs to go here to here and here to here. Again, now you can kind of see why yellow belts are perfectly fine for your mall. Um, they work wonders. Yes, they're not as fast, but at the same time, for for beginning malls, they work beautifully. So now inserters will come down, they'll come around, and we'll get grabbed, and now we will have some lovely green science. So we will go ahead and we'll bring this out quite a bit, and then we will turn this up, and we can just click and drag again, click and drag. So much nicer. I wish Dyson Sphere would do the click and drag. They don't, but it's fine. But now we do have a little bit of green science coming in. So green science will slowly but surely add up. But weapon damage and shooting speed level 1 is now done. So now uh, it wants to do the green science, which is awesome. So now we have lovely green science accumulators. Accumulators would be very nice because they would store excess power. So what do we want to do after red belts? What am I doing after red belts? We could do trains. Trains. We are gonna need to do trains because we don't have any. Um, I would like to do trains. There, we don't have any oil right near the base, so doing a train network. A, it's pretty cool to set up trains, and B, it can be cheaper than belts. Because it's great for long distance because you can wrap these cars together and it works very well, especially when we get down here into red chips. Red chips need plastics, and plastic is petroleum, um, and coal and pumping stuff, and it's just there's a lot. Oil gets very messy. Um, and so having a tank farm somewhere where you can just store stuff, kind of like we do with Dyson Sphere, how we stack our tanks. Well, you can't stack a tank, but you can put fluid wagons. So you can pump into these wagons and pump out of these wagons. Um, you can put fluid storage tanks around. You can put them in barrels. Um, so shipping can be a little bit of a nightmare, but it's honestly not too bad. Um, so I think I think we go ahead and do trains. We either do trains or we go ahead and grab a lot of that protection stuff is red science, which we kind of want. Um, but some of the more advanced the game is blue science. But as you can see, there's not a lot of research left. Purple science is when we get into the uranium, and the rocket silo is launching our rockets. And once we launch our rockets, we get into the space science packs, and there is some upgrades like the Spidertron, the atomic bomb, and all kinds of great stuff. It's really cool, but not really something that we need. Uh, Coal liquefaction um, does make a lot of heavy oil and light oil and petroleum. Um, there's a few new things in the base game. Um, so definitely a lot of really cool stuff um, that I'm pretty excited about looking at. But the biggest thing is um, the Roboport. The Roboport is really freaking awesome because we get construction bots. Construction bots are awesome because they will let me just build blueprints. The logistics system, um, very much is a needed thing because the logistics system will let us move stuff around, especially around the mall. Um, and it very much helps with, you know, if I make something down here, or I want to put it up here, or I want to put in a buffer chest, uh, it makes doing things like that very nice. Um, but it doesn't take away from the build a mall because the build a mall is always the tried and true method of um, you can always expand the mall. I can always come in here and drop another belt. I can always come in here and throw more assemblers down. So like I can see, I can watch up here and see, I'm good right now. Everything is flowing. Nothing is um, nothing is really the bottleneck outside of maybe I want more green science. So I can just throw down, come over here and I can throw down, I'll throw down two more and we'll go power pole and of course I need more power poles. We'll grab a bunch of power poles. Power pole. Boom. And then I can grab an inserter in and an inserter in, and I can go a long arm and a long arm, and I can go an inserter out and an inserter out, and then tell these we want you to be green science, and now green science is more green science will be made. So instead of however many it was, I just doubled it. So that is where doing stuff like that is great. Always, again, keep in mind your pollution. We can kind of see we have another, looks like we've exposed another copper ore patch over there, which is great. These guys, I'm going to have to deal with those guys. That's stone. That's more iron. I still don't even see, um, I don't see any oil yet. So just to kind of help with the where is the resource, we're gonna grab we'll grab another radar. Radars are something you don't want to make. You want to make, but don't make too many of. They do piss off a lot of people. So keep that in mind. We do need to grab another boiler, and we'll grab more steam engines because power is not enough. So we will grab those undergroundies, and this is why I made the undergroundies. Um, Boom. We will grab that boiler wherever it shall be. It shall be here. And we're going to go here. This is going to finish crafting. And we're going to grab one, and we're gonna have to rip up that power pole. Ugh, we gotta have to rip up this power pole. Move, damn it. And we can throw this here and here. Good, good. And then we will throw down another steam there, and then I always hit the wrong buttons. And then we can grab our belt, come up, and then we'll grab an inserter, rotate it, boom, and grab you a power pole. So now it is making power. This is connected, this is connected. A way more steam is, the pollution will grow. Not horrible. I don't see any biters. Oh, here's, it just found a new biter base there, so we will have to eventually deal with that. That looks like a lot of cliffs. That's not great. But if we come down here and we look at the power, clicking on a power pole, we don't have a lot of extra power. So we're going to grab you. I'm going to throw you down just because I would like some coverage down here. So now I can see way more of my base just by coming into the map, and more of these regions will also be exposed, so we can kind of see more and more, so that's great. And it will help me eventually find that oil deposit, but again, power and not looking great. We're about to do a massive expansion, so yeah, let's go ahead and we will grab one more steam engine. Right about here, we will rotate, 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 throw it down. We're gonna have to, again, move a power pole. Moving power poles, yay. We will throw this down, throw this down. It is gonna fuss and say, hey, we can't hook to a power. But that's fine, it can now hook to a power. This is gonna fuss and say it has no fuel. Again, that's fine because we can just come down here, grab an inserter, throw it down, grab its power pole, we'll throw it down, and yeah, now the next steam engine would be here because we do want to leave that gap for the, oh no, don't make that many of them, just make one, thank you. We do want to leave space for the power poles every so often because they do have to connect. As far as the water pump goes, this water pump will more than definitely, the one pump will service us for life, just about. So we can take all of this, we can rotate, hook this up, and that is a one block. I don't love that it's a one block. You can move it, but again, we're going to be a little compact, which that's fine. I do have my run through right here. I will probably put a road run through, bigger run throughs, so that way I can loop around. You can see now over here, we're making enough green and red science to, science is being made fast enough that we're now going to slowly start backing up on science, which is great. I can extend this belt if I wanted to, drop another 5 science stations, and we can research even more. So again, there's a lot of really awesome things you can do. This game does compile on itself pretty quickly. which is really nice because that means you don't really have to pay it much mind. But now power, coal, we are producing uh, about uh, 25 a minute, and we are consuming about 30 a minute. So now you can kind of see, now that I've kicked the power up a bit, um, now, yeah, you can kind of see this line here, all of this. Well, we're not getting coal anymore because we are chugging away at that coal. So easy fix, we can come down here, we'll grab a second coal miner, we'll rip up the old system. It's always good to try to catch these things early. We'll rotate, rotate, rotate down. We go one more down. Nope, we can go right there though. And it just needs a power pole. Boom. Boom. So now we will produce, if we look at our coal, 26 a minute is what we're producing. 38 a minute is what we are consuming. We'll actually come down here. Yeah, coal is now green. Green means we're producing enough to keep up. Blue, sorry. Actually, not really. Yeah, we are now producing about 48 a minute. We're still consuming about 33 a minute. So, all in all, we're doing good. Numbers for graphs. Fluid wise, we're producing 62 a minute. We're consuming 58. Again, we have plenty steam. Again, we don't really have excess steam. But again, now we have more coal being brought in. It's being brought in on two sides of the belt, which means ooh, I love this because I threw the radar down. I can now come down here and look at it and see that it is grabbing off the belt, both sides of the belt. Coal is backing all the way down. Everything's full. So it will slowly but surely start backing up. But again, power, we are now producing 7.2 megawatts. We're consuming 2 megawatts. So we now have some power to spare, which is great. Having power to spare is always a blessing. We can look down here and see our iron is no longer really doing the greatest because a lot of iron gets used down here. So we need to fix that. And we fix that by honestly just waiting on the coal to back up. You see, coal comes in, it's not really doing the greatest. You know, it will slowly back up. As you can see, it's already starting to back up. We can, if we wanted to, we could throw a few more drills down, but we'll just give it a second. Everything will back up again, but that is why I threw down buffer chest. Buffer chests are great because it allows everything to, if something in the system goes offline, not everything goes offline. Not having everything go offline is honestly the best thing ever. So, we'll take one last look. I know, paranoid. It does look like this biter base here will be the next biter base we have to deal with. That's not great, but not great is better than what do you mean? What do you mean? What are those? So that is there. We'll throw this down. Cannot reach. Cannot reach. Now you can reach. We'll throw this down here. We will throw bullets in here. Please throw the bullets in here. Thank you. And we'll throw this down here. Again, just so that way, a little bit more peace of mind. And we'll throw this guy about here. He will now throw there. We now have better power poles. Ha 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 ha, I love my better power poles. Science is being done. Good, good. We'll go ahead and we will queue up trains. We will queue up. The gates are already queued. Awesome. Vehicle. Vehicle will give us tank. We don't need vehicle just yet. We do need fluid handling so that way we can do our storage tanks. That will also give us the pump jacks so that way we can get the oil, and it will also give us fluid wagons so that way we can ship fluids as fluids. We don't have to build a barreling system and put them in barrels. We can just ship them as fluids. So that is awesome. Research, research, research. But now, again, I am out of belts. And because I am out of belts, we will go ahead and we'll do three. We'll open this up to 3 stacks. That is, again, that's going to chew through our iron, which is okay. It's not the greatest in the world, but it's okay. Belts, you can keep belts in the mall because bigger power poles. You can keep belts on the mall because if you look at the red belts, it takes yellow belts and more gears, underground and more gears. So crafting red belts is on having red belts on yellow belts on here is great. It does also later on, if we find the tree that it's on, it'll probably just be faster to scroll through here. We can find the blue belts. Blue belts are even faster than red belts. They do require lubricant, so you can kind of see where oil processing, yeah, going to be a thing. And it requires red belts, so keeping the belts on the sushi in the mall is good. Same thing if we look at the inserters down here. Let's look at inserters. Blue inserters take yellow inserters. Red inserters, if we can find it. Red inserters also take yellow inserters. So having the inserters on the belt is useful. But there are some end item things like sciences. Sciences are what you would put in the logistics system. Stone walls. Yeah, we need stone walls. They are used to make gates. So that's where you can kind of see there's some things that are end item research, like end item craft. They don't craft into anything else, and those are things you want in your logistics systems or in a crate. The non the non end item things, like our ammunition. If we look at the machine gun, it unlocks military 2. It does require the magazines, so that is where those those magazines will come in handy. They're also needed to make armor piercing rounds, and uh, they're used to make military science. Military science does all the military things, as you can see: flamethrowers, lasers, defenders, landmines, defensive stuff. Military Science 3 does even more stuff. These are more upgrades. Um, and it does a lot. There's a lot of um, things that we're going to need science for. Military Science 4, better armor. Um, so yeah, don't worry about like, oh, does this not need to be on the belt? It probably needs to be on the belt. You know, almost everything needs to be on the belt. It's just not everything will stay on the belt. Some things will, you'll get to the end of your mall and things will go into a box. Um, like, it's just going to happen. Iron, um, coal is starting to back up. Is it all the way back up here at the splitter yet? Almost. It's almost up to the splitter. Um, this still has coal in it. Wow. Um, that's crazy. This still has quite a bit of copper. Copper we don't have a problem with because it is backed all the way up. Iron, copper will unfortunately fill first, which is not the greatest, but it is what it is. But that's kind of where we're at. Um, we have green science, which is awesome. We have our ever-growing mall, and if we look, the next thing that really we're going to want is that military science, which is going to be, if we look at our military science again, this is our next science tier. We can get some better um, furnaces. Um, they they craft higher faster, but pollution is also a little bit bigger. Um, so again, keep in mind. Uh, but we need to make grenades, walls, and um, armor piercing rounds. We need to make grenades and walls. Walls we can make already because they're just stone, so we could put stone on the belt and go ahead and uh, bring bring walls on the belt because we know we're going to need them. Then if we look at this, this is steel, so we're going to have to bring steel on the belt, and we're going to have to bring coal on the belt. So we are going to have to start bringing stuff onto the belt. So we have a little bit of time, so we can go ahead and we'll go ahead and start bringing stuff on the belt. So we'll go ahead and we'll do walls first. So that way we would be able to get these gates, and these gates will let us go through, vehicles go through, trains go through, a lot of things go through. So to do that, we're going to need to look at the recipe for our walls. Walls are made in furnaces, so we need a furnace build, which honestly, I'm just gonna not do that. We're gonna hit B, we'll left click. Well, this is a furnace build. So we'll grab this. And we need to do this. So we're gonna rotate. And we're gonna put this here. And if I had bots, it would build for me, which I don't have bots. But it lets me see what I'm doing, so I can now come down here, come down here, power pole, power pole, power pole, power pole, outer power poles. We will go ahead and we'll grab more of those. We will swap over to the bigger power poles, so don't you worry. But we will go power pole, power pole, power pole, and power pole. So now this is power poled. We will grab, I guess, 8. Sure, why not? We'll go power pole, furnace, 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 furnace. We'll grab 2 more, so 1, 2. And we'll go boom and boom. We will come back because we do need to throw regular stone onto the belt because we are going to need it for other things. So we are going to split this, and we'll split this here. And we'll say this belt will come down, and this belt will feed the sushi. We'll feed the smelters, and then we will grab, we'll go down to our mall, because again, we have a mall. I don't love that I'm about to grab off of the power belt, but oh well. Oh well. We'll come down here. We'll grab 50 more inserters. Great. Love to see it. Steel is starting to trickle down. Military science 2. Awesome. Awesome. We will grab this research, and we will grab this research. So now, now things can start researching. This is great. Again, slowly but surely. And it actually seems like we are running low on red science. We're about to run out of red science, which is not great. We do have enough gears for it to kind of, we do have a little bit of a backlog of gears, so this will make, we can actually come over here and grab this and this and this, because we don't need that anymore. We will move this power pole. I'll move that power pole in a second. Because we want to come over here and we want to finish setting up the stone real quick. So we'll go inserter, 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 inserter. And then we will grab 5 of you. We can now make engine units, and we can make the better armor piercing rounds, which is great. We will flip this around because you need to grab this coal. That power pole is going to have to move. Ooh. Ooh. This would be where the bigger power poles are going to come into play. So, because, boom, and, oop, I need to grab a few more. We'll just grab a few more. And then we'll also, can we grab medium power poles? Medium power poles. I do not have it set on my hotbar yet. Okay, medium power poles. Medium power poles can go here, and now all of that has reach, which is great. So we're going to grab more of these. That also doesn't use up our wood, which is great. So we're going to take up those. We're going to throw this down, and we're going to grab another medium power pole and throw it down here. You now need a inserter like so. So now all of this is powered and we saved power poles, which this power pole is also not needed, nor is this power pole, nor is this power pole, because we can just come down here and we can throw a power pole here. And now way more. This goes here, and we will throw up upgraded assembly machines. That's great. We will throw an iron box, a steel box right there, and we'll make steel. We'll let this run in the background, so that way we'll have some stone, which is great. Copper still is backed up, so that's good. Steel is going to be a minute before it catches up, if it even catches up. As you can see, it is just chugging away. So I might have to fix the steel. Stone, but stone will slowly but surely get made. It will do its thing pollution wise. Still looking good on pollution. Still don't see any oil, which is a bit of a bummer, but we'll find some oil. Bullets are being made over here. This is for our supply. Now we are going to swap this for the red bullets here, which do need steel and copper. So knowing that we need steel and copper, hey, oh well. It does look like we do need to up our coal supply, because coal is looking like a problem. It is slowly going to back up. This has one fuel in it. This is out of fuel. This is out of fuel. So coal will slowly back up, as you can see, but not very quickly. So we're going to help the coal out just a wee bit. We'll grab 2 more miners, and we're going to pick this up. We're going to throw down a larger tower here and a larger tower here. And then once those 2 miners are built, we will put it here and here. Characters in the way, of course I'm in the way. Boom and boom. And run that down. Now a lot more coal is being produced. We can, if we wanted to, since we know, again, we're going to be doing a lot, we'll go ahead and we'll craft 5 more miners. Again, the miners can be picked up, they can be moved. I've already moved some around, but more and more coal, which is great. Coal will slowly back up. So one side of the coal belt is already backed up. This other side will back up a lot faster. Now that even more coal is being used, but this coal will also ship around. It will come down here. All of these furnaces that are flashing at us saying, hey, we don't have fuel, we'll start to grab fuel. So that one just grabbed fuel. All of these are now grabbing fuel. So the copper is now running, back up and running again. That will have to get expanded eventually. And it will eventually look like the iron. Iron will definitely get pushed bigger. It's always going to be bigger. But we'll slap down a few more of these guys here. That should grab a bunch of that. We'll throw down our mega power pole, and we'll make what are we out of? Iron. Interesting. Well, we can make two more. That's fine. We'll just make one. We'll throw down another big power pole. And moving forward, I will use the big power poles. Big power poles are phenomenal, and as is the big electric poles. The big electric poles, yes, they do use a lot of iron, but they span uh, 32. So when we're doing, you know, uh, doo -doo -doo. So when we're doing things like coming from the power plant and we're spanning all the way up here, or we um, another one I typically do is coming down the mall. So later on, uh, we do have a substation research, which I will grab big power poles. Um, the substations, these are also really great. They are super wide, so putting these in the middle of like a solar array or something like that is really helpful. Um, Another thing that is also super amazing is these accumulators. They just allow you to buffer power, and buffering power is always great. Um, so yeah, uh, very very nice things to have. These do unfortunately require us to go through a bit of the blue science. Um, so not horrible. We did pump jacks. We'll do oil processing. This will get us the oil refinery. This will start doing that stuff. That stuff is we have to get oil. So, uh, so yeah, a lot of fun things. So, what we're gonna have to do between episodes is we're going to have to find some oil so that way we can do oil processing. Um, that's going to entail me having to look around the map quite a bit, probably deal with some biters, sneeze at my monitor a few times, you know, the works. Like that. Uh, so, oh yeah, all the things have to be done. But now we do have stuff being made. We do have a little bit of steel. We can always upgrade this steel. One of the things, there is complete builds for doing a full steel build, doing a full iron build. We are going to get to that. But before we get to that, we're going to continue to get our mall set up. Because getting this mall set up is honestly um, a bit more important than the steel build would be, just because as nice as it would be to have steel up and running, um, it is not the highest of priorities. Can't get that one up yet. Okay. Boom. Boom. And oops. We'll drop a small power pole here. Yeah, we'll drop a small power pole there for now. So we'll come over here. You are going to be gears because we need gears. And we'll flip that, we'll flip that, we'll flip that, we'll flip that. So now more gears will be made, which is great. And we definitely need gears. Iron is going to slowly back up. Red science, we are starting to back up on red science again, which is great. Green science is doing phenomenal, but as you can kind of see, iron is now the bottleneck. We are not producing nowhere near the iron we need to produce, so gates, awesome. So between episodes, I'm going to set up some more iron. We'll get some more iron built, and getting the throughput of the iron up will allow us to really progress more. Because most everything from this point is iron. I will keep an eye on these biter bases. I might have to go deal with one or two of them. Uh, so that is something to keep in mind. I still don't see any oil. Not seeing any oil is not the greatest. But that's a problem for future us. We will take a little break. We'll let this run. We'll let the research go. Uh, Circuitry. Do we need circuitry? Circuitry. Do we need circuitry? Um, we don't really need it. It's not essential. Um, yeah, not really essential. So, what we'll do is, I guess, that's already in the line. Landfill. Do we need landfill? Uh, we could use landfill. Um, that definitely. That, eh. Tool belt, for more inventory. Sure. It's not really needed, but sure. Um, we'll do that. Sure. But, alright. Thank y'all so much for watching. I have a bunch of stuff to do. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.